Mystery 101. Do I end up using this wig? Keep watching to find out. The very first thing you want to do is make your evil teeth. I made these out of polymorph plastic. These are just little pellets that you melt down in boiling hot water, and then you can shape them to any shape you want. So just make a bunch of human looking teeth, basically. Tip, mark them with a pencil so you know which are the top teeth and which are the bottom teeth. Now onto the evil forehead. So we are making this with some latex paste. So you simply mix latex with flour, mix it very slowly, a little bit of flour at a time until you get the desired consistency, and then spread it over your face cast. If you don't have a face cast, you can use one of those polystyrene head type things, and you just want to create a forehead piece with a kind of an angry brow and a few wrinkles. Just use the pictures of Evil Ed as your reference. Smooth it out with a little bit more latex on your finger or on a brush. Just bear in mind that if you use a brush, you will have to throw it away because latex doesn't like anything. It doesn't like fabric, it doesn't like brushes. Now onto the evil cake hole. Now for those of you watching in America, first of all, hi. Secondly, cake hole is British slang for mouth. So Evil Ed's mouth is rather large, so I just built up an armature of sorts with some silk clay, which is basically foam clay, so you know, like Crayola model magic, that kind of thing. Here you see me just making some little latex moldy teeth bits for later, just with little bits of latex while my cake hole is drying. And then I just make the bottom of the cake hole once the top of the cake hole has set. Did you have your dinner?
I did chicken nugs.
Chicken nugs? And what else?
Kitty.
And what? What did you have for your chicken nugs?
Chicken nuts.
Sweet corn. Did you have sweet corn?
Sweet corn.
Beauty. And
But
was it num nummy?
why not?
Montana.
Montana.
I don't think he's coming. Moo, don't knock Mummy's light over, please. Every time we have this conversation. Now we go over the armature once it's fully dry with some more of that latex paste. Now it's useful to note that this foam clay doesn't go completely hard like air drying clays normally do, but in this case that's actually in our favour because it means it's soft against the skin, because obviously this is the back of the prosthetic that will sit against your skin. Once you've got that latex paste on and smoothed out, you want to start pressing your teeth in and just basically carry on doing this until you've got your prosthetic mouth or cake hole completely built up. The mouth was completely dry. I then went on to making Evil Ed's little tiny weeny nose. I just made this out of some latex and cotton wool, and I also built up any extra areas around the mouth that I felt didn't quite look right. So basically I just put in some extra lips even. No, don't lick it, you don't want to lick it. And then you can just see me sticking on those moldy latex bits for the teeth. Now onto the paint job. So I will be using in this tutorial a mixture of alcohol paints and also cream colours, but you can use whatever you happen to have to hand. Just don't use acrylic paints on their own, because once you start flexing and moving the prosthetic, they will crack and fall off, and you don't want that. If you want to use acrylic paints, then mix them with some skin adhesive. This is what we call in the industry PAX paints. Anyway, onto the paint job. There's a lot of back and forth with this paint job, I'm not going to lie, and this footage was hours long, but I managed to cut it down as much as I possibly could. But basically what you want to do is just build up your colours in layers, just stippling them on to get a really sort of rotten skin effect. So stipple on reds, yellows, and yellow on the teeth as well as black, because you want those teeth to look really, really rotten. I actually did realise by the time I built up all these lovely colours that actually I should probably have started with a light base and then stippled these colours on top, because it did end up being a little bit too dark, and then I had to work over the top with some lighter colours, which never quite fully works because most white pigments are quite opaque, so they end up looking a little bit chalky. But I kind of made it work in the end. But yeah, learn from my mistake and start off with a lighter tone and then build up your mouldy tones on top in lighter layers, rather than trying to build up the dark undertones and then putting the lighter layers on top like I did. You'd think after years of doing this I would know that, but clearly not. Anyway, I'm just going to let you enjoy watching the rest of the paint job, and I will be back in a minute. Finishing touch I added was, once I was happy with the paint job, well, sort of, because I then go on to do a bit more painting, but we'll ignore that. Once I was happy with the paint job, so once you are happy with your paint job, just go over with a light layer of PVA glue. This adds a nice sheen to the skin, because if you look at the pictures of Evil Ed, he's all kind of shiny and sort of rotten and putrid looking, so yeah. Once everything on the prosthetic is completely dry, you want to remove it from your face cast using plenty of flour or baby powder or face powder to stop the latex sticking to itself, and then put it against your face, mark out where the prosthetic sticks, and then put some glue on all the areas where the prosthetic touches the face. Allow the glue to go clear and then stick the prosthetic down. And then you just want to go around all the edges with some more glue and a cotton bud, and just make sure those edges are really firmly stuck down. Once the edges are stuck down, just stipple over some latex just to blend them into the skin. I think I did about 4 or 5 layers. And then once those were on and drying, I then went in with some black water-based face paint just to paint in the inside of that mouth to give the illusion of depth. And then I used a little bit of latex and cotton wool just to further blend those edges into my skin. Latex prosthetics are a great way of making cheap prosthetics, but the edges aren't the best, I'll be honest. So a little bit of latex and cotton wool just helps to disguise those edges a little bit. And once those edges are fully disguised and fully dry, you then want to start colouring your face to match the prosthetic. So I will just let you watch the paint job. I'm using water-based face paints, and yeah, just enjoy. great thing with a character like Evil Ed is he has got lots of different colours and textures on his skin which hide a multitude of sins. So if you've got any bad edges or anything that you kind of don't want to be visible on your makeup, then stippling on all these different colours and textures really helps to hide that. Now once you've got the initial paint job on the skin, you want to just take some dark grey or brown eyeshadow and just start shading. Everybody loves a bit of contour and shading, including Evil Ed. So you're just shading to create some sort of wrinkles and just to make the face look really gnarly and possessed and nasty, basically. The final finishing touch is the eyes, so I went around the eyes with some red just to make them look really irritated, and also some purple too. And then I finally painted Evil Ed's completely white eyeballs on my eyelids so that when I close my eyes it gives the illusion of those completely white, blank, possessed eyes. But with the redness around the eyes, this also works with the eyes open as well. So it looks fine both ways, although it looks way creepier with the eyes closed. But obviously, don't walk around with your eyes closed because you might bump into things and ain't nobody got time for that. So we just add in the final little faffy odds and ends. You know I like to faff at the end of my tutorials. And we are almost done. Just one thing, I had this lovely blonde wig which I thought might look quite good, but no, it looked total and utter shite. So I took it off and just used my own hair and messed it up, and it looked way better. So there we have it, Evil Ed from the Evil Dead. I have wanted to do this makeup for the longest time and I was really pleased with how it turned out. I hope you like it too. If you loved it, please let me know down below. Like and subscribe and all that jazz, and stay tuned for more Halloween goodness on my channel. Bye bye.